in this class we can have some more models on time and distance. The concept of time and distance. Suppose a vehicle had covered 200 kilometers distance in 5 hours time. So take an example, a vehicle had covered 200 kilometers distance in 5 hours. So even without having any knowledge, even without knowing any formula, we can say that the distance traveled by the vehicle is 200 kilometers and the time of journey, that is given as 5 hours. Suppose if you put a question, what is the speed of the vehicle? What is the speed of the vehicle? Now here in this case, in 5 hours time, the vehicle can cover 200 kilometers distance. Therefore, in 1 hour time, it can cover 40 kilometers. As per the data, in 5 hours, it can cover 200 kilometers distance. Therefore, in 1 hour, it can travel 40 kilometers. Or in other words, 40 kilometers per hour. 40 kilometers per hour, that is the speed of the vehicle. 40 kilometer per hour, that is the speed of the vehicle. Or in other words, in 1 hour, it can cover 40 kilometers distance. So therefore, the speed of the vehicle is 40 kilometer per hour. How to get this 40? So in practice, the number 200 divided by 5, that give 40. So here 200, that is the distance, whereas 5, that is the time taken. So we can design the formula at our own. Speed, that is given by distance by time. So here the distance is 200 kilometers and the time period is 5 hours. So 200 by 5, that give 40 kilometer per hour, that is the speed of the vehicle. So simply by knowing the first formula, we can design the other two formulae. Suppose if we dislocate this t to other side, we can get distance is equal to speed into time. To dislocate this time to other side, we can get distance is equal to speed into time. Suppose we want to get the time period. This s can be displaced to other side. So we can get t is equal to distance by speed. So these are the three formulae. So remembering any one of these formulae, we can get the other two formulae easily. So the first formula, that is speed is given by distance by time. Second formula, distance is equal to speed into time. Third formula, time period is equal to distance by speed. So these are the three formulae. But in this case, in this topic, no doubt the concept unit that leads an important role. Unit. Friends, there are different units available to measure distance. What are the different units available to measure a distance? Millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer. So there are different units available to measure distance. Next, in order to measure time, what are the different units available? Seconds, minutes, and of course hours. These are the different units available to measure time. Suppose the time period is given as 20 minutes. Friends, how to convert this into hours? Suppose the time period is given as 30 minutes. We all know that 30 minutes is equal to half an hour. So how can I get it? 30 minutes by 60 is equal to half an hour. Suppose the time period is given as 20 minutes. So we can represent this 20 minutes as 20 by 60, which is equal to 1/3 of the hour. Suppose the time period is given as 24 minutes. We can convert the time period into number of hours, like 24 by 60. 12 gets cancelled, so that is equal to 2/5 of the hour. So we can convert from one system into other system, from one unit to other unit. But there are different units available to measure time, seconds, minutes and hours. Next, suppose there are different units available to measure distance, right? But in practice we use meter per second and kilometer per hour. These are the two units what we can make use of for the sake of competitive examinations. These are the two units available. The first one is kilometer per hour and the second one is meter per second. Friends, once again recollect the formula for speed. The speed of the vehicle, that is given by distance by time. Distance by time. Suppose the distance is expressed in meters, then the time period must be expressed in seconds, so that we can get the speed in meter per second. The distance must be in meter and the time period must be in seconds. Then we can find out the speed in meters per second. Suppose the second unit that is available is kilometer per hour. Suppose the distance is given, the distance is measured in kilometer, then we have to take the time period in hours. In such a case we can get the speed in the unit kilometer per hour. Kilometer per hour. The distance must be in kilometer and the time period must be in hour. Then you can get the speed in kilometer per hour. If suppose the distance is in meter, the time period must be in seconds, so that we can get the speed in meter per second. So once again I recollect it. What is the formula for speed of the vehicle? Distance by time. Distance formula, speed into time. Time period formula, distance by speed. Next, what are the units available to measure speed? The first one is kilometer per hour and the other one is meter per second, right? The first one is kilometer per hour and the other one is meter per second. Next, we had a discussion regarding the changing of one quantity to other quantity, the changing of quantity from one unit to other unit. So in the same way, let us have a discussion about speed. Suppose the speed of the vehicle that is given, the speed of the vehicle that is given in terms of kilometer per hour. So in order to convert the speed from kilometer per hour to meter per second, we have to make use of the fraction 5 by 18. 5 by 18. In order to convert the speed from kilometer per hour to meters per second, we have to make use of the fraction 5 by 18. So let us have a check how this 5 by 18 appear. Friends, what is the formula for speed of the vehicle? Distance by time. Suppose you take the distance as 1 kilometer and you take the time period as 1 hour. Here the distance is taken as 1 kilometer and the time period is taken as 1 hour. So naturally the speed will be equal to 1 kilometer per hour. 1 kilometer per hour. But as we all know, this 1 kilometer can be taken as 1000 meters. 1 kilometer can be taken as 1000 meters. Next, 1 hour, that is equal to 60 minutes, which in turn equal to 60 seconds. I repeat it. The formula for speed is distance by time. The distance is taken as 1 kilometer and the time period is taken as 1 hour. So therefore the speed is 1 kilometer per hour. And we can take 1 kilometer as 1000 meters and 1 hour as 60 minutes, and again each minute is equal to 60 seconds, right? So we can eliminate 2 zeros in the numerator and 2 zeros in the denominator, and once again we can make a calculation by using 2. 2 gets cancelled for 5 times, 2 gets cancelled for 3 times. So therefore we can observe 5 in the numerator and 18 in the denominator. The distance is in meters and the time period is in seconds. So therefore the overall result is equal to 5 by 18 meter per second. The distance is in meters, the time period is in seconds, the speed will be in meter per second. So now we got an identity that 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 5 by 18 meters per second. So in order to convert the speed from kilometer per hour to meters per second, we have to make use of the fraction 5 by 18. So suppose the speed of the vehicle that is given in terms of kilometer per hour. So in order to convert the speed from kilometer per hour to meters per second, we have to get the fraction 5 by 18. Friends, this is the concept behind that 5 by 18. On the other hand, the speed of the vehicle that is given in meters per second, and in order to convert the speed from meters per second to kilometer per hour, you have to make use of the fraction 18 by 5. So this is the concept behind time and distance. Once again, let us recollect. The formula for speed is distance by time. Distance is equal to speed into time. Time period formula, distance by speed. Suppose the distance is expressed in kilometers, then you have to take the time period in hours. Then you can get the speed in terms of kilometer per hour. Suppose if the distance is given in terms of meter, we have to take the time period in seconds, so that the speed can be obtained in meters per second. So at all the levels we have to take care about the unit, right? Now we can go through some of the examples. So these are the formulae. A kilometer per hour is equal to A into 5 by 18. A meters per second is equal to A into 18 by 5. Right? Next one, basic model. The speed of the train is 72 km per hour. The speed of the train is 72 km per hour. Or in other words, in 1 hour, it can travel 72 kilometers. In 1 hour, it can travel 72 kilometers. So therefore, the speed of the train is given as 72 km per hour, and you have to convert into meters per second. The speed is given in terms of kilometer per hour. To convert the speed from kilometer per hour to meters per second, you have to make use of the fraction 5 by 18. 18 gets cancelled. So that is equal to 20 meter per second. Or if you go in detail, it can cover 20 meters in 1 second time. So 72 kilometers in 1 hour, or in other words 20 meters in 1 second. 20 meter per second, both are one and same. So like that we can convert the speed from one unit to other unit. Next, the speed of the bus is 35 meter per second. 35 meter per second, and you have to convert into kilometer per hour. Friends, in order to convert the speed from meters per second to kilometer per hour, we have to make use of the fraction 18 by 5. 18 by 5, and of course 5 gets cancelled. So this is equal to 126 kilometer per hour, or in other words, it can travel 126 kilometers in 1 hour time. So like that we can convert the data from one unit to other unit. Next one, a bus cover a distance of 90 kilometers in 4 hours time. A bus cover a distance of 90 kilometers in 4 hours time. And the question is, what is the speed in meter per second? They are very particular about the unit. They want to calculate the speed in meter per second. First of all, what is the formula for speed? Distance by time. Here the distance is given as 9 km. The time period is given as 4 hours. Speed formula, distance by time. The distance is given as 90 kilometers. The time period is given as 4 hours. And of course, we can get the speed in kilometer per hour. We can get the speed in kilometer per hour. But we have to convert the speed into meters per second. So in order to convert the speed from kilometers per hour to meters per second, we have to make use of the fraction 5 by 18. So that gives the value in meters per second. Here the distance is 90 kilometers. The time period is 4 hours. Speed formula, distance by time. The formula for speed is distance by time, but you can get the speed in kilometer per hour, but you have to convert the speed into meters per second. So into 5 by 18. Of course 18 cancel for 5 times. In the numerator we can get 25, and in the denominator that is 4. 25 by 4, or in other words 6 1 by 4 meters per second, that is the speed of the vehicle. 6 1 by 4 meters per second, that is the speed of the vehicle. Next one, a bicycle can cover 15 meters in 12 seconds. A bicycle can cover 15 meters in 12 seconds. Here the distance is 15 meters and the time period is 12 seconds. The formula for speed of the vehicle is distance by time. Here the distance is 15 meters and the time period is 12 seconds. Of course we can get the speed in meters per second. We can get the speed in meters per second, but you have to convert it into kilometer per hour. So thereby you have to make use of the fraction 18 by 5. 18 by 5. 5 gets cancelled for 3 times. 3 gets cancelled for 4 times. We are left with 18 by 4 or 9 by 2. So which is equal to 4.5 kilometer per hour. So here the distance is 15 meters and the time period is 12 seconds. We can get the speed in meters per second and we have to convert into kilometer per hour. So make use of the fraction 18 by 5. So after suitable calculation we got the result as 9 by 2 or 4.5 kilometer per hour. So at all the levels in this concept time and distance, at all the levels we have to take care about the unit. The units must be of the suitable unit, right? Next, in what time a train can cover 360 kilometers at 10 meters per second? Here we have to calculate the time period. In what time? The formula for a time period is distance by speed. The formula for a time period is distance by speed, right? But if you observe all the options available, all the options are given in terms of hours. So we are interested in finding the time period, that too in hours, right? The formula for a time period is distance by speed. Here the distance is given as 360 kilometers, but what you have to recollect is the distance is given in kilometers, the time period is required in hours, therefore the speed must be in kilometer per hour. The distance is given in kilometer and the time period is required in hours, so therefore that is self-evident. We have to take the speed in kilometer per hour, but in the data the speed is given in meters per second. So first of all you have to convert the speed from meters per second to kilometers per hour. You have to convert the speed from meters per second to kilometers per hour, which can be obtained as 36 kilometer per hour. That is to be applied in the formula. You are not supposed to apply 10 directly in this place, because we are interested in finding the time period in hours. Then the speed must be in kilometer per hour. So first of all you have to convert the speed from meters per second to kilometer per hour, that is 36, which can be applied in the formula. So therefore it requires how many hours? It requires 10 hours to cover the distance of 360. So here the distance is given in kilometers, the time period is required in hours, so therefore you have to calculate, you have to convert the speed from meters per second to kilometer per hour. So we have to take care about the unit that is available in the data. Next one, a car cover a distance which is unknown. A car cover a distance in 30 minutes if it run at a speed of 60 km per hour. A car cover a certain distance which is unknown in 30 minutes if it run at a speed of 60 km per hour. And the question is, the speed at which the car must run, the speed at which the car must run to increase the time of journey to 40 minutes. So what you have to observe is, in the first case, the speed of the car is 60 km per hour and the corresponding time is 30 minutes. So let us go through the first sentence again. A car cover a certain distance in 30 minutes. In 30 minutes if it run at a speed of 60 km per hour. So what is the speed in the first case? 60 km per hour. What is the time taken? 30 minutes. And now the question is, the speed at which the car must run, the speed at which the car must run to make the time of journey, to increase the time of journey to 40 minutes. So before going to the calculation part, what you have to observe is, here the speed in the first case is 60 and the time period is 30 minutes, and now we have to calculate the speed in the second case in order to make the time of journey as 40 minutes. But in this case there is no change in the distance. So what you have to observe is, distance is same. There is no change in the distance. If suppose there is a change in the distance, that can be specified. So therefore while going through the data, it is self-evident. There is no change in the distance. Friends, what is the speed in the first case? 60. What is the time period in the first case? 30 minutes. And the question is, the speed at which the car must run to make the time of journey to 40 minutes. But in this case the distance is same. Next, what is the formula for a distance? Speed into time. The formula for a distance is equal to speed into time. So what you have to observe is, speed into time in the first case is equal to speed into time in the second case. The distance is same. The formula for a distance is speed into time. So speed into time in the first case is equal to speed into time in the second case.